Hello YouTube, my name is Tristan. Welcome to L-Space. Welcome back to L-Space if you're returning. Today I'm embarking on an effort to complete the backlog of book tags that I have been tagged in because there are a lot. There are more than I care to admit, and so I'm going to do my best to finish all of them as I can. This one today is going to be the Beauty in Book tag. Beauty in Books tag, which was originally created by Ruben at To Readers It May Concern and Emily at the Linguist Library, and I was very kindly tagged by Katherine over at Raspberry Reads. She tagged me in this because I like to do a lot of things with art and beauty in literature, and so I, of course, was very excited that she tagged me in this because this is very much up my alley. You're right, Katherine. Good job. You spotted it. Speaking of beauty, I have this really gorgeous journal of Kiki's Delivery Service. This picture on the front makes me feel a lot of things. I love that she is pictured in the mirror, but she is not captivated by her own image. She is looking off into another direction, out the window to see what is possible instead of dwelling on her own vanity, which, fantastic. Love the picture. So there are 8 prompts to this, including the one that says tag other people. Sorry, not including the one that says tag other people. That is prompt number 9, technically. So let's get started. Prompt number 1 is beauty in concept. And so for that one, I have chosen Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. The reason why I think this is beautiful in concept is because it is about 2 divine beings, an angel and a fallen angel, Aziraphale, Crowley, who are going about dealing with the Antichrist and eventually trying to prevent Armageddon. The reason why they prevent Armageddon is because they both have kind of decided to shun their particular side, heaven and hell, the political side of what those 2 sides want, the end goal of each of them, because Aziraphale and Crowley have decided that they really love humanity and they love everything that is on Earth. And I think that is such a testament to what Pratchett's ultimate ethos was, which is just the wonder and beauty and just incredible nature, or I guess we should say the ineffable nature of humanity, while also like humans being kind of disgusting and the worst. But I think that's part of why he believes humans to be so captivating and so beautiful and so ineffable, as it were. And the fact that the 2, the angel and the demon, conspire together to save humanity instead of allowing Armageddon to happen is really, I think, a powerful image in general, and I think that is a beautiful image. So in concept, I really, really adore this one. Beauty in opening line, I am taking this a little literally because I think it's a perfect opening line and I think it's very funny. This is also a beautiful book in general, both physically, I mean, look at her, but it's probably one of the most beautiful books I own, to be honest. I love all of the blues and greens and yellows, just such a spectacular cover. Anyway, this is a beautiful book about self-acceptance in general, self-love, and coming to terms with, kind of releasing yourself from shame. But the opening line is also beautiful because it really sets the tone, as well as having the word beautiful in it. And the opening line is, "My boyfriend Gus has a beautiful penis." And I love that. I think it's hilarious. I think it's such a perfect opening line for this particular book. And yeah, Ryan O'Connell is such a funny guy. He did such a good job with this particular book, and it being as funny as it is, and also as beautiful as it is. So this beauty in opening line, certainly that fits. Okay, so for prompt number 3, beauty in character, that is going to be Feet of Clay by Terry Pratchett. You're going to see a lot of Pratchett on this list. And this is a really fascinating look into like what it means to be human, and like the essence of the soul, if you will, and also kind of looking at the stupidity of prejudice and having these ideas of these people are less than people because of a certain aspect of their birth or their circumstances, all of that sort of thing. And this book does a good job of really pointing the finger and saying, like, no, that's an idiot way of thinking, so stop. But this also has some of the best characters in Discworld. Like, the City Watch is widely held to be like one of the best of the Discworld sub-series. And the ones that are the characters specifically in this one that I really love following is Angua and Cheery Littlebottom. And this book also does some really cool things with like gender, and this is a topic for another video, so I won't go into it. But the ending line of this one gets me every time, and it's just so good. So let me share it with you, and it can make me cry. So this is the very end. It's not really spoiling anything if I give you just these last few lines. But anyway, I'll have to go, Angua thought as they strolled down the street. Sooner or later, he'll see that it can't really work out. Werewolves and humans, we've both got too much to lose. And sooner or later, I'll have to leave him. But for one day at a time, let it be tomorrow. Want the dresses back, said Cherry, behind her. Maybe 1 or 2, said Angua. So good. So good. I love it. Angua is a fantastic character. Cherry's a fantastic character. Just love them. Just beautiful in all aspects of the word. Okay, number 4 is Beauty Amidst Pain, and that one was a pretty easy one for me to think of. These prompts definitely made me think, and like I had to kind of think a bit outside of the box and stretch what I was intending, but this is actually the first one that came to mind for Beauty Amidst Pain, and that is the 5 wounds. This is kind of what it sounds like on the tin. It's all about 5 wounds, both physical and emotional, spiritual, you could say, in a family, and it's kind of about them dealing with them, as well as just like the beauty of familial connection and the relationships of all of these people coming together to overcome the problems that they're faced with. So it's just a really beautiful story, and it's also quite funny. I really was kind of surprised by this particular book because I was not expecting it to be as witty and silly as it gets. It's very similar in its like wit and humor to Terry Pratchett, and so as you can imagine, I am obsessed with that. This book deserves a reread, come to think of it. That'll be coming to a year near you. Anyway, yeah, so that's definitely one that is Beauty Amidst Pain, especially Yolanda. That whole section dealing with her issue is quite powerful. So yes, beautiful, love it. Definitely give this one a read if you want that. Okay, next is Beauty in Incompleteness, and the one that this was also kind of an obvious choice, and that of course is Held by Anne Michaels. The reason why I chose this is because this is very poetic, it's very art focused, and again, like really discussing and studying the human condition and time, mortality, spirituality, art, and life, and all of those things. And the reason why I said it's beauty and incompleteness is because they are very vignette-y, and so like this covers a lot of time. It's like First World War all the way up to it's a lot, and especially for such a small book. And the fact that it does it so effectively for how short each of these little sections are. Like some of them, 4 lines. Like it's not much at all. So I'm saying that it's incompleteness, but like you get so much out of each of those little vignettes that it's maybe hard to say it's incomplete, but then it is, because they're just like little flashes of an image, and then they are connected to what's next, and just yeah, it's really interesting, and I really 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 liked this book. Contrary, I think, to what a lot of people maybe felt about it, there's a lot of mixed opinions on that one. I particularly really liked it. And so I felt that that fit really well with beauty and incompleteness. Prompt number 6 is beauty in place. And I would be remiss not to include The Lady's Paradise by Emile Zola, translated by Brian Nelson, or just like read it in French like I did. This is also kind of an obvious choice because this is all about the like spectacular beauty of The Lady's Paradise, which is a department store. Excuse me, I burped. A department store in the 1900s. Sorry, the 19th century, the 1800s. And Zola is one of the people who is really famous for doing literary impressionism. So he has a lot of literary still lives that are quite spectacular. He uses a just like really rich, vivid description that makes things come alive and really pop off the page, and he really, really evokes the beauty and wonder of this particular place, which is based off of real department stores in the 1800s. Like this is a particular fictional one, but it certainly is one that you can imagine given what we know. Like if you think of like the Galerie Lafayette in Paris, it's kind of what this is describing, and like you get the spectacular appearance of that in here. So yeah, beautiful beauty in place, definitely. Also, it's in Paris, so like, you know, beautiful. So that's that. We are moving on to number, oh gosh, I can't count, and yet I teach children. 7. It's beauty in time, and that one, yeah, I didn't have any trouble with these 3: beauty and incompleteness. Sorry, beauty amidst pain, beauty and incompleteness, I guess beauty in place, and beauty in time. I didn't have any trouble with those ones. The other ones did give me a little bit more difficulty, but this one was obviously, this is how you lose the time war. It's in time. It follows 2 characters, red and blue, as they are warring against each other in a time war, trying to basically destroy the sort of original thing in time of the rival faction so that it ceases to exist. And it's a love story. It's an epistolary love story across time, and I love this book so much. I felt that the descriptions of just like pouring their hearts out to each other was so touching. It was so beautiful, and I just loved everything about it. Like one of the final letters that they send to each other, which is kind of like, it's right around when they declare, we would rather lose the time war than lose each other, type of thing. Just like it's such a beautiful declaration of love, and this had to be on this list. Like there's no other way to put it. But yeah, love that. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous language. Okay, now, Beauty and Catharsis. Now, I will admit that this one, again, is going to be a Pratchett novel. As I was like looking through it, I was going to choose this one for a different prompt, but as I was sort of skimming through it and like going through the particular sections that I was thinking about, I realized that it really is for catharsis. This is a cathartic book, and that is The We Free Men by Terry Pratchett. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of Pratchett on this list. Terry Pratchett is really known for like his social commentary and his humor, but I don't think he gets enough like praise for just how beautiful his books are. This book is one of the most beautiful things I've ever read. Same with the next book in this series. Hatful of Sky is just simply stunning in its language. And this book, as I was going through, I was like sort of reliving some of the parts in this book, and like I was tearing up because it was really getting to me. This is ostensibly about a young girl who is completely average by all accounts. She's not the blonde-haired, blue-eyed heroine. She's not a damsel in distress. So it's really pushing back against a lot of stereotypes and like literary conventions, which Pratchett does expertly. And she discovers that she has a penchant for witchcraft. And this is kind of all about her discovering that, and then also dealing with this incursion, this sort of invasion of the Fae into the real world. And she has to deal with that. And on the back of the book, it says, "What's not to love about a girl who takes on vicious monsters armed with only a frying pan?" And obviously the Knack McFeagles are hilarious. But what the story is really about is grief. It's about a young girl who's maybe 9, maybe 7, who has recently lost her grandmother, and she asks herself at various points why she hasn't cried for her grandmother. She goes over all of the things that she wished she had said to her grandmother, and things that she wished she had done with her grandmother, and things she wished she had learned. It's all about processing the loss of somebody who is very important to you. The descriptions of her processing her grief about her grandmother are so goddamn powerful that, again, like I am kind of holding back a little bit of tears here because they are so gripping and beautiful. And then at the end, when I won't spoil anything, but it is so cathartic, and it is such a beautiful conclusion to her processing her grief. And this is a stunning book that, like, I was going through and I was like, oh, I need to reread this because, well, it's time. But yeah, it's, gosh, yeah. On the back, it doesn't even mention the fact that it really is about her processing her grief over the loss of her grandmother, Granny Aching. But that really is the overarching theme of this book. And Pratchett's way of dealing with and processing death is just, he really has unlocked something very special in that, his perspective on that, which, again, probably a discussion for another time. That's why I hated Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, because I thought it was just such an insult to everything that Pratchett worked for. But anyway, this is not about that. This is about the beauty of the books. But yeah, the catharsis that you get at the end of this book after really going on the journey of grief with Tiffany is just spectacular. It's beautiful, and I love it. Love this book so much. Anyway, now, you will have noticed that I did not mention a single time my most favorite book of all time that fits every single one of these prompts. And that is, of course, Still Life by Sarah Winman. This was really the challenge. It's like, where am I going to fit Still Life in? Which prompt am I going to limit it to? Which of these prompts does it have to remain in? And then I was like, maybe I should try to go outside of my comfort zone and not mention this one for any of the prompts at all, and try to choose different books that are not this one, even though this one could fit literally any one of those prompts. And also the fact that it is my favorite book of all time. So I did it. I did all of the prompts. I didn't mention this a single time until now. But just know that the intention and the desire was very strong to mention Still Life. And it is like, if you want to read a book that encompasses all of the prompts, that it is this one. I'm not going to say too much more beyond that because I really just need you to take my word for it and read the book. All right? Cool. So, beautiful characters, historical fiction, so it's beautiful, and it takes place in Tuscany, so like beautiful place, beautiful time, beautiful in catharsis because there's a lot of cathartic moments, and beautiful in concept just overall. Beauty amidst pain, there's plenty of processing pain and grief and trauma, and just the beauty of connection and found family and beautiful friendship, and just, yeah, it's all of them. All right, cool. So I had to mention it. I'm sorry. It's gonna be in like every single one of my videos. I'm gonna find a way to put it in every single one of my videos if I can, because it's just so good. So that was the Beauty in Books tag. I thank you very much, Katherine, for tagging me. Obviously, you were right. This was right up my alley. And yeah, I have a lot more tags, especially from you, that I need to get to. So that is going to be my goal going forward, is that I'm going to complete more of these tags. So thank you very much for watching. What are the books that you feel are the most beautiful? Pick a prompt, pick a book, put it in the comments, pick all the prompts, list your responses, and I will be doing my best to come up with some people to tag. This tag has already gone around quite a bit, so I don't know just how many people are left who haven't done it, so consider yourself tagged if you haven't done this yet. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you again very soon with another video. Bye.